The Radcliffe Institute is Harvard's Institute for Advanced Study. Our mission is to foster cutting-edge work across the disciplines, the arts, the humanities, the sciences, and the social sciences.
I'm an associate professor in chemical engineering at MIT. My research is focused on engineering of microbes for chemical production. A really nice benefit of being here at Harvard is having the time and the proximity to really have interactions with other people doing research here on Harvard's campus. Radcliffe was really an interesting environment for me as well in terms of thinking about how the work that we do in my lab has an impact on the rest of the world. I actually was involved in two federal government reports during my time at Radcliffe, and the Radcliffe Fellowship year really gave me the opportunity to dedicate real time to those. I think when I look back at the year that I've spent at Radcliffe, I will remember being very productive. I had more papers that were submitted for publication than I've ever had at any point in my career.
Kristalla Pratha.
And I'll remember the people and the exposure to all these other different areas of work, many of which have such a profound impact on my life just as a citizen of the world as well as a citizen of this country.
I'm a junior in Leverett House, and I'm studying comparative literature with a secondary in government. Being part of the Radcliffe Research Partnership, I think, has made me connected to a larger academic world beyond the world of college and classes. This year, I'm working with Professor Ziblatt, who's a government professor at Harvard.
I'm writing a book this year on the rise of democracy in Europe historically.
Sort of like who the people are.
I've spent the last several years working on Germany and Britain over a 100-year period. I needed help with the last part of the book. I'm trying to extend the lessons of this particular historical experience into other countries.
And so sort of the idea that even though there were these new parties there, the informal power structure of caciquismo was maintained. I speak French and I speak Spanish, so I was able to read texts that he wasn't able to read. So I would share with him what I'd learned, and he would see how that connected to the research that he'd done in the meantime, and how it connected more generally to his argument.
So in a way, that was a kind of reversal of the traditional role of professor and student, and she was actually really teaching me.
I think the reason for the DNA Symposium was just the incredible development in the last several years, the last decade, of DNA science, of synthetic biology, of really exploding information about our ancestry and our origins that are revealed by DNA analysis. And we thought, wow, what an exciting moment to bring it all together.
This technology is new, very new. And so in addition to the science, today we'll be discussing the ethical aspects of this new world.
We had anthropologists, we had evolutionary biologists, we had chemists, we had criminal justice, we had an ethicist.
They brought together different areas of research that I am interested in but might not have sort of talked to in the same room.
Today's been incredible. It's a great opportunity to hear about research from around the world in a completely interdisciplinary way. So you get totally outside of your specific little bubble that you study.
But I also think bringing it to the public is absolutely key. This stuff has enormous ethical implications. It has enormous implications for human health. It has big implications for how we see ourselves. And that can only be addressed in an interdisciplinary setting like Radcliffe.
We have the world's leading collection of materials around women's rights movements, from the first stirrings of such movements in the 1830s and 1840s through what we call second wave feminism and on into today. Bill Baird was a really important player in the reproductive rights pieces of those movements. The Bill Baird collection is the largest collection the library has ever acquired. 700 plus boxes came out of Mr. Barrett's basement. One of the things that was carted out of his basement was a carton of badly burned books. The first act of domestic terrorism against an abortion provider was leveled against Barrett. His offices were firebombed. It's going to be important in 100 years, literally, to demonstrate the heat of this argument. I think one of the truly remarkable things about Barrett is that he treated his opponents in the right to life movement with enough seriousness to collect their materials. Having the pro-life materials, the anti-choice materials in the Barrett collection, I think is really of inestimable value.
At Radcliffe, we're fortunate enough to have built a new gallery, the Johnson Kulakundis Family Gallery. And for the inaugural exhibition, we were really looking for a work that would showcase what the gallery was capable of. TeamLab is an artistic collective in Japan that counts over 400 members, and it consists of engineers, computer scientists, artists, architects, designers, people involved in all kinds of different specialties.
漢字は一つの文字に意味を持っているので、自分の影が漢字に近づくことで、その文字が持っている意味が、広がって世界が作られていくっていう作品です。自分の行動が世界を作っていて、その作っている世界っていうのは隣の人と共通の世界なんだみたいなのを、直感的にね思い出してほしい。
Ours is a vision in which art is integrated with other forms of study, engages our senses afresh, and challenges us to assemble and to present meaning in new ways. The Radcliffe Institute is vibrant, it's intellectually exciting, and it is creative.
It was just all content, all knowledge, all search.
I was firing on all my cylinders, and this was an absolutely dreamy place to be working on the project.
A rewarding experience you just don't get in the classroom, you don't get in your extracurriculars either.
美しい知性
The Radcliffe Institute is a new star in the Harvard galaxy, and it's going to become brighter and brighter as time goes on.